My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey folks, welcome back. Today's zooming in from Dallas, Texas. We've got a very accomplished real estate investor, a developer, a build-to-rent kind of guy, Amir Baluch. And Amir, we're going to be talking today about this whole build-to-rent concept, what you call instead of a BRRRR, you call it a BBRRR, a BBRRR strategy. So Amir, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And that's right. Amir, you and I connected a few months ago at Tim Mai's event, all about raising capital. So I appreciate having you on the show. So to get started with, Amir, why don't you give us a little snapshot? What does your portfolio look like today? And what does your real estate investing business consist of?
Got it. So my portfolio, I try to keep it pretty diversified with things that are not correlated and have a little bit of everything. So it's not just real estate, although that's probably 50%. And maybe 30% will be private equity, and the rest will be a mix of cash, crypto, fixed income products, things like that.
Okay. When it comes to the real estate side of things, the active business, what does that look like? What do you do?
So, we started back in the day with multifamily, actually when I was in medical school in '05. I was an LP there because it was easier to get in there than for me to do my first fix and flip or anything like that. In 2010, I came to Dallas. 2011, got my real estate license, my securities license, and I was working for a boutique investment bank, and we were doing tons of multifamily hard money lending and fix and flips, but at a massive scale. We were doing about 200 homes a month out of Arizona. Not a month, a year.
Okay. Yeah, wow, that is a massive scale.
almost one a day. And I like that concept. So I pulled my brother out of his MBA courses that I was paying for. I'm like, look, you need to be the legs because I can finance this stuff and put together a team, but I need somebody to hit up these properties if we're gonna get into single family and building and remodeling. So, the easiest thing is to get a quick little cosmetic rehab, which is where we started. And then we did do the BRRRR method also without the finance, though. I didn't refinance it. I just, rehabbed it and kept it as a rental with good equity in it. And then we realized the time it takes to work with the city to get plans approved for one home, might as well just get a whole subdivision. So, and it was easier to scale that way. Instead of doing 40 fix and flips, let's just build a whole subdivision and let's stay in the affordable range for a couple reasons. So the affordable range has the biggest amount of buyers, but also it's the biggest need of Americans. You probably know this, Dave. I mean, it's going to take at least 15 years for us to even come close to meeting the needs of home buyers in America. So we're just very much undersupplied. So we can at least put a dent in it by doing these build to rent communities where we build whole subdivisions for the purpose of renting.
Very cool. So when did you start doing the subdivision thing, the build to rent thing?
So when I left the broker dealer / investment bank in 2016, then it wasn't a conflict of interest for me to raise money for my own deals. So that's when it started. So what is that, 8 years ago, something like that?
Very cool. And how many different communities or projects have you built out in that time frame?
So we're almost done with one in Fort Worth, and we have 3 other ones going right now in different areas of Dallas.
And how many had you done prior to that?
So prior to that, they're mainly just single family homes that we did, either complete remodels or gutting them, or just a single lot at a time. We would do it like that.
I see.
Go full cycle, pretty much phase 1 and 2 of Fort Worth. We think in phases. So for example, we're going to do in Dallas, we have almost 40 something townhomes, but phase one is 6 units, then another six, and then we're going to do 27. Um, it just kind of that's kind of how we think. So we've gone full cycle in some phases in Fort Worth right now, and halfway done with another one close to Dallas.
Oh, that's exciting stuff. I'm curious. So you did all those years of medical school, you became a doctor. It doesn't sound like you stuck with that long.
Well, it was hard, being full time and then getting this off the ground. But luckily, doing anesthesia, a lot of days I'm off at one or two, and I maxed out my vacation, and my brother helped a lot, and that allowed me to go part time with medicine about maybe 3 years ago. And then for a year, I even just quit altogether. Just recently, like a month ago, I started working again part time, like 6 days a month, 6, 8 days, something like that.
Okay, all right. So you keep your hand in it.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually kind of feeling bad for leaving. I never really wanted to leave. It's just I just needed that little bit extra time to put a bigger team together so we can do, 6 or 8 subdivisions at a time, which is our goal.
Very cool. So these subdivisions that you're going to be working on, like how many properties total are they going to consist of? And I know you're going to do them in phases, but what does
So
one subdivision look like when it's all done?
so it can vary. For example, this one in the Bishop Arts area, like just one little plot of land would have been 6 townhomes. So on the small side, it would be that. But we got the land right next to it. So, okay, we got 12. And there's one around the way. Okay, now that's another 27. But there's also other land that we've already underwritten. And we're actually putting together a $50 million fund right now to take it down, probably with PE Group. That'll be like 120 units out in Heath, Texas. And there's another place, and it's all about the land. So we have another one that's 58 homes, and then we have some people that have been land banking, and they have like hundreds of acres. I mean, could be hundreds of homes, could be 400 homes, but
Yeah.
we're not ready for something like that yet. That probably would be like a master plan community or something like that.
Yeah. So what have been your biggest takeaways and learning experiences going from building one-off properties to starting to get into these subdivisions?
Well, definitely economies of scale is
Yeah.
very cool and very helpful. The time saving with the city is very helpful because this in the city, we're actually helping the city a lot because we're helping them get tax dollars, and we're building an opportunity zone sometimes. So uh, they kind of become our allies versus if you're just doing a one-off deal, they kind of forget about you. Now they're actually, we actually get deals from the city. Like the city even has offered us to give us land for free. Like, hey, can you
Wow.
just build this next? We've had the mayor of a city reach out to us. We have lenders now reaching out to us. Hey, this guy's not doing a good job. I'm just going to call the note. Can you finish it? Like, so now we're at a bigger level. We can solve bigger problems. So people are coming to us with bigger problems, which means bigger projects for us and
That's
bigger.
exciting. Now, when it comes to the whole construction side of things, do you outsource that or do you have your own in-house teams?
So we do it both ways. So so some of the deals, depending on where our in-house teams are at, we could just blow it out ourselves. We're really good on the interior side. So if we're going to outsource and to go faster, we would outsource maybe the framing and the foundation.
Mhm.
And so we train, we'll bring builders to us, and we will train them based on our specs, what we want done. We even give them down to the paint code number and everything, whatever we need. It's all written there in a Gantt chart. It's just not our internal team that's salaried doing the work. It's going to be constructing on usually a price per foot type of deal.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Amir. So maybe do you mind walking us through the economies of all of this? Like, how does the business side of this look like? And let's just take an average, like a small subdivision project that, the average person we can get our head around, not some of the really big ones that you got on on the
Got it.
horizon, but something kind of small that somebody can get started with theoretically.
Well, we'll take this these 6 townhomes that we're almost done with
Okay.
in Bishop Arts, which kind of like the new, it's like an Austinish area of Dallas that's up and coming. So 6 townhomes, one way to think of it is we want to net 100 grand a home. That's one way to think about it. Some people think about it like that. Some people think in equity multiples. We're trying to double our money in 2 to 3 years. That's pretty much what we're targeting. And we don't touch anything that has IRRs under 40% because timelines can get blown and sometimes construction costs can get up. And we always buffer it enough to where even if there's a catastrophe, hey, can we at least get the investors, 12, 15, 18, 24%? And if the answer is yes, then we pull the trigger on the deal. If not, we just let it sit. And
Yeah.
so
So for this six townhouse project, maybe give us an idea. What did the property cost? How much it cost to build out? What's it going to look like after built value, I guess, and maybe cash flow as well.
got it. So my brother is going to know the exact numbers, but let's say on this
Broad
first
strokes.
phase, the land was $1 million, and maybe construction costs would be like maybe 6 million. It'll be a $9 million sellout. So something like that, plus or minus is where we would be. That's actually for 12. That's actually for 12 units,
Yeah, I'm
not
thinking, geez, those are pretty nice townhouses.
yeah. No, actually, that's six. Whatever 650 times 6 is for this small subdivision. So a little bit under 4 million on the sellout.
Okay, so you are planning to sell them all out. It's not long-term build to rent and hold on to it long term. It's build it, refinance it, get it rented out, or rent it out, get it refinanced, then sell it in a few years. Is that the
Uh,
exit plan?
yeah, we have people that are looking for rentals actually. So we actually have a group of doctors that just as soon as it's done, they just want to take it over. So, this first phase should be 0 days on market. It's just kind of already done. And so let's say if we don't find the group of people to pre-purchase it, then we'll list it on the market. It'll sell there too, like days on market's probably 40 days or something like that.
Hmm.
And if for some reason it doesn't sell in time, then we will refinance it and pull our equity out, and we'll keep it as a rental. And we're happy with that too. Like it doesn't matter. We're making money one way or another. But
Yeah.
ideally, we like to turn and burn. So we just want to get in and get out. And then, you know, the thing with developers, you got to be sitting on a lot of cash because you're buying land and land doesn't cash flow. There's no
Yeah.
cash flow coming in. So we like to turn and burn and pile up a lot of cash and sometimes close land all cash ourselves and then raise the money back out and then go do it again. Unlike, if you're doing multifamily acquisitions or something like that, you don't need to sit on as much cash.
Yeah. No, it's super cash intensive, right? That's
But
the
we do want to keep some, so we may
yeah.
we may do some deals where, we may refinance half and keep it and then sell half. And so everywhere we develop, maybe we have a couple properties in every area and just keep it for a long time and just say, yeah, we're here. Because when we're building, a lot of times we're making the HOA too. So
Mm.
we can make it favorable for Airbnb and then keep some rentals and maybe Airbnb them if we want.
There you go. Yeah, right. Because usually most HOAs aren't keen on that, but if you create the HOA, hey,
Right,
smart.
right. So
Yeah.
some cool things we could do. So, and like for example, other things we think about, like we zero scape the land and
Mm.
everything, because then the HOA fees are less. We don't want high HOA fees to cut into um,
Cash
the
flow.
profits. Or we
Yeah.
might do like a pickleball court, which doesn't cost a lot to maintain. Maybe, there's a place where we couldn't use it for development. Maybe it's, partially in a flood zone or something. Hey, just put something like that on there as an amenity. But a lot
Instead
of
of a pool. Yeah, way better than a pool from your perspective for sure.
right, exactly. So we
All
kind
right.
of we kind of think like, what does a renter want out of this, and what does the investor want? You're going to want low maintenance and things like that, ability to do short-term rental if they want. So we can design that all from scratch at the beginning, which is really cool.
Very cool. So it sounds like you've started up a fund. Tell me a little bit about that. What's been your experience starting your own fund?
Well, we've done a couple funds. We'll probably, I'll say they're more like SPVs, where it's really just we'll do
Translate what an SPV stands for.
like a special purpose vehicle.
Got it.
So like we're going to create the entity that we're raising capital in just for this subdivision, and not necessarily like a thesis that we're carrying through everything. That's not like a blind pool fund. So, but SPV and fund can be used a little bit interchangeable, but a lot of times a fund kind of has a thesis like, okay, B class, Dallas, Texas, value add apartment, boom. We mainly do secondary markets, opportunistic, build to rent, affordable under 650K, less than 90 days on market. That's kind of our zone. But we'll do SPV per project. But the fund that we're thinking about launching next year will be a $50 million blind pool fund. So we are pitching the thesis, and there are some private equity people that are interested. And what happens there, which is different than raising for a project, we're going to say, hey, if something matches our buy box, hey, the land is this percentage of the total construction costs. The loan terms are going to be like this. The days on market are below here. It's opportunistic. It's secondary market. They will have to fund it if we find it meets their buy box. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
So have never done a fund like that, and it might not even happen. We might just continue raising per project, but it's a lot easier when you got 50 million behind you or 100 million behind you to not have to worry about the money and just freaking
just go.
Down.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So we're coming up on a brand new year. What are your plans for 2025?
Well, we definitely want to get another construction manager so we could scale up. And we're kind of fine tuning some internal software to make things more efficient and scale up. And we're managing the supply chain for a couple other builders where we're ordering a lot of things from China. That's starting to become even another, branch of our business now, because then we all benefit, but we're in charge of that part. So eventually I'm going to want to hire somebody for that. And we do have a headhunter looking for investor relations right now, which would help me a lot. So, instead of me being on the calls all the time. So I think all those things are really what we need to basically at least 4x what we're doing now in the next 2 years or so.
Exciting stuff. Amir, if people want to connect with you and find out more about what you're up to, where should they go?
Well, they can just go to baluchcapital.com, and I think this QR code above my head somewhere will go to it also. There's a contact form, and just if you mentioned that you heard us on this show, we do have a 12-week boot camp basically on some real estate investing. We have some free blueprints, and you could get a free copy of my book too. Just mention the show so I know you're not just some stranger coming to the web.
Coming out of the woodwork. Sounds good. Amir, thanks for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next episode. Hey there. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.